Good morning, everybody. Good morning from a beautiful, windy day here in the Philippines. It was real cloudy when I woke up this morning. I was like, oh yeah. And it tried to sprinkle, and there was little dots of water all on this metal right here, and just a light little moisture on the decks, and then it went away. But I seen one of Melinda's brothers heading over here early this morning. Boy, he had his step going good. He had a stride. I said, uh-oh, he done caught something. And right here at the beach, he caught, let's see, I'll show you the shell. He caught this big crab. I can't show you the whole crab because Melinda and I, we done devoured that joker. But that was a shell to it. And it was really good eating. And we hadn't had one in a while, so we was excited to get that. And he's back to back because yesterday the other brother, Marlon, the twins' dad, he came yesterday and caught some really nice fish out here locally too, and we bought those from him. And so we had a couple of those fish grilled just now, and we had that crab. Mel and I just really enjoyed a nice little seaside meal here. We hadn't had a crab here lately, so I was kind of glad to get that. I've been gone first thing this morning. Mike and I, we headed to City Hardware. We had to return the middle sections on that tank, the dividers, because they gave us the wrong ones. They swore it was the right ones when we got there, that I was wrong, and they gave me the right ones. I had him to break out that old measuring tape and measure one just like we have, the model we have. And then measure that inside section. He said, I said, see, that's what I've been trying to tell you. They're bigger, they won't fit. So they found them, they got them for us. That means that somebody else would have been short on their tank with the right ones, you know. They would only had small ones there, and it would have been a big old mess. So good thing we got those returned back. And we picked up a bunch of plywood. I'll show you here. So as they're digging out for the pool over there, it's bringing a lot of backfill for us right here, building this up that we've been wanting to do for a long while. And that banana there don't matter. We just moved that banana there recently from another location. But over here, I bought plywood to do forming with. Now I didn't buy that black plywood because a lot of this is going to get chopped to a jillion pieces, and I didn't want to waste the money and spend the extra 400 or 500 pesos a sheet, you know, which I can land close to 10 bucks more a sheet, and that starts adding up for something that's going to get chopped up in single use most likely. So we're going to be making the forms for the beams up here, and we're going to be making a lot of arches again. So we got thin 3/16 plywood to bend those arches. We got 1/2 inch plywood to make the sides. And I know y'all are like, well, we don't all use Imperial. So I guess we'll go over the metric then. I think it was like 4 millimeter on those sheets, and I think maybe these are 12s right here, a little less than a half. I think those are 12 millimeter and those are 4 millimeter. Then I'm gonna throw you off again, 4x8 sheet. Yeah. So we got those, and they are extending up the forms right now for, I think, 2 more columns. They're over there working on it right this minute. So this is how I have Joel doing the bamboo up there. So there's a screen behind that, and I have him bringing all those up to a point like that, leaving a 3/4 inch gap between them so air can blow through. And then on the other side, he'll turn bamboo on the inside the opposite direction and offset it down the middle on those, and blowing rain can't pass through, but air can, and it'll keep a nice cool breeze inside that room. A whole kind of little convection taking place with the heat drawing out, pulling cool air in. Well, I'm here using this old blue pipe that we had left over. I like using it to bend and draw lines with and shapes and all. So I always make use of that scrap pipe. And so what we've done here is we laid out where the pool's gonna be and where a deck's gonna be. There'll be a little deck area. Right in here will be a deck area coming around. And then back over here on the other side, it'll pick back up again. Don't show it with the blue pipe right now, but it'll come back around here and pick up with a deck area again around over here. So right now they're going to pour another one of those little extensions on top of that beam to work as a retaining wall for the soil. So they're drilling the holes right now. They're going to set steel and forms and go ahead and pour that one in, and we're going to need to be backfilling in there soon, so we need to get that on up there. Now I'll back up here again. They're digging this out. This pool is, of course, it's not going to be no dive pool or nothing like that. It's going to be about 5.5 feet by the time we re-pour the bottom and with the drain in the bottom and all. It's going to be more than one drain in the bottom. Now, you swimming pool people, you should know this. The old school drains were dangerous years ago with a strong pump, because somebody, a kid or somebody, could get down there and it could draw you against it, pull a suction on you, and you couldn't come up. So they made drain styles that had angles on them and that came up so that it couldn't form a flat suction. Another way you can avoid that suction is to put more than one drain in the bottom. For instance, like over there where that black pipe is, I could have a drain there, and then right over from it I could have another drain at the same levels right there. And that way, if something got over one of the drains down there, which pulls a suction, well, then it would just suck twice as hard through the other one, and vice versa. And that way nobody gets pulled down against it. And another thing, if one of them got clogged, just debris or something, the other one would continue to draw, and less chance for damage on your pumps and stuff also. So that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to put dual drains down in the bottom of it. But we'll have to lay out our plumbing in the bottom, and then we're going to pour a new floor over all of that plumbing once we get it in there. And then the same thing, we're going to do our plumbing out the back here around the sides. And then we're going to kind of like do a new liner around the inside of this thing. Set our steel, and we're just going to come in there with a whole new liner on the inside. Because at that point we'll build all of our wire, our grid all the way around right here, and the steel will be continuous as one piece without a seam then. So that's one of the reasons we want to go down through there and pour a whole new liner in on the inside of it, is because right here there's a stopping point of the old tank, and over there too, and you need to tie that together completely. So that's going to be one of the reasons why we need to score this down through here straight and get that broke off right there. We got a little bit of cutting we're going to do over there with these two little hot tub, or they're not really going to be hot as per se. It's going to be the same water as the pool. This pool is going to be a warm water, but not a cold water, but not a hot water either. There is going to be some cutouts. Those are going to have like benches, almost like a booth, that you can sit around in there and all. And there'll be a little low cutout in the middles there, so that water can flow all nice and neat back out into the pool, and you don't get this like fungus, green algae water stuck down into some spots back over in there. So those will get cut. I'll show all that as we're doing it. All of this will have a steady slope going down. There's not going to be per se a shallow water. This ain't going to have like beach water on the edge like some pools do. It's going to be shallow end. It's going to be about 3 foot I'm not really building this per se for children's entertainment, so I'm not trying to do the water slides and the diving boards and all of that kind of stuff. It's not going to be a diving pool. This is going to be a swim, relax, cool off, and chill around pool. Yeah, not a whole bunch of hoopla. Yeah, not a bunch of wild Mohicans. It's not what I want. Whenever I'm gone from this world, they can do what they want. But while I'm here, I want chill, 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 chill. So it's gonna come right along, and then I'll back up here. You can see our footpath right here where we walk all the time, and I'll come back over here. So there's a footpath right there, and so coming off just a little bit to the left of that footpath, I'll veer it over a little bit to the left of this semi-green grass right here, and a sidewalk's going to come off right here at my feet, and then it's going to start to elevate, and it's going to become a bridge up over the end of that water and come back down to the pool deck on the other side, and you can go on out to the beach. And this sidewalk's going to make a split right here. I think I've already explained this once in the video, but people that hadn't seen it, it's going to make a split right here, and then there's going to be a little staircase going up to the other rooms over here to the side. And we're going to have a laundry area over there, a shower area. It'll be pretty nice. Pretty nice. So we're in such a drought, but I keep trying to keep even a little bit of this grass alive. I'm sure the camera's making it look more yellow than it is, but I keep taking water from the cistern and at least pouring it on this real nice grass that I like here and over here. And as we're digging, I'm going to transplant this stuff along the edges and start sprigging it around in new spots and let it spread. But I just love that thick grass right there. It's really wonderful, but such a shame we're in a drought. And even if I had a lawn sprinkler system in the grass, I wouldn't run it right now, because that water I'd be wasting from my yard is water that us and the neighbors need for day-to-day life. So that's another good topic right there, is the pool. There are big tanker trucks that'll come, just like in the US. You can get with your fire department and all and pay them to deliver water. The same thing here. You can pay tanker trucks to come in, and they will come tank in water for you here. Truck it in here for you to fill it up, so we don't have to draw all the water off the ground trying to fill up our pool. They'll go get that water from the mountains where there's those deep springs and all, and always flowing, and they'll bring it here. And another thing is, I get a lot of comments about saltwater pool versus freshwater pool. I can't deny that has been a big dilemma with me.
What is the difference between chlorine and salt water in swimming pools? Not as much as you would think. It's the most common thing for people to be confused and think that saltwater swimming pools are some sort of alternative to chlorine. And in reality, it's not. It's just a misunderstanding. A chlorine swimming pool and a saltwater pool both use chlorine as the sanitizer. You used to go to the store and buy some sort of chlorine product, whether liquid chlorine or granular or chlorine pucks, and you would add those to the water regularly. Now, you buy a large amount of salt, you add it to your pool one time to achieve a level of around 3,000 parts per million on average, and you buy an electrolysis cell. Essentially what you've done is you've cut out the middleman here. You now generate your own chlorine. And as you can see, that's not an alternative at all, or an alternative to chlorine. You just are generating your own chlorine on demand as you need it from sodium chloride or salt. And that is the main difference that you're not appreciating when you're trying to ask whether chlorine is different than salt water or which one's better. They're both the same thing, but there is a little bit of a difference. There's unique qualities that each would have. For example, there's different kinds of chlorine, and these different kinds of chlorine have different pH values. The kind of chlorine that salt water creates has a very high pH. And as a result, the typically saltwater pools have chronically high pH issues. And this can cause a host of problems in terms of, scale formation and reduced equipment life for things like heaters. But primarily, that's not an issue of salt water per se. That is a chemical mismanagement issue, and that could happen in any kind of swimming pool. It just happens to be a little bit more common with saltwater pools because of that high pH scenario that I was just describing. So primarily, that's the main difference between salt and chlorine, is that they're kind of the same thing. You're just changing the way in which you're getting the chlorine into your swimming pool. If you found this information helpful, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you can check out my website, swimmingpoolsteve.com.
So I think I'm just going to go ahead and stick with the freshwater pool. The water is going to be protected a lot from the sunlight because, one, it's going to have that deck above it, including that veranda like it's right up here, balcony, that's going to shade most of the water and keep most of the debris out. Then down on this end down here, you got the coconut tree shade, and you have the fact that the bridge is going to shade it. That bridge alone is going to put a lot of shade on the water. And then lastly, we're going to pull those shade nets over that open end above there, so it's going to have that shading from that net too, letting some sunlight through, but not pure just scorching sunlight. And that way it's more enjoyable out there, but you're not just like sitting in the shade freezing when you get out of the pool, so we'll have that net. And then the next thing about that shade net is it also protects the pool from things falling, like from the coconut trees and stuff like that. It'll catch it from it going in your water. And so there's not going to be a lot of water exposed to falling debris or direct sunshine. And I think that's going to also increase the longevity of your treatments and stuff and all, because the algae is not going to be as apt to grow as fast. It's still, you're going to have to battle it. No doubt you're going to have to battle it, but it should slow it down a little bit because it's not getting that direct sunlight. So that's my thoughts, and y'all share what you think about it. I'm definitely not no swimming pool master by any means. I'm not naive to it, but I'm no expert either. And with that also being said, I'm going to build this in. I'm very confident about building it. That's not an issue with me at all. Very confident about building it. That's the nice things, when you pretty much know that you can handle a task and you can take it full on with confidence. Comment, tell me what you think, and it's hot out here, and I'm gonna get back over here and help the guys. I just took a break to record for you all, not just stand around staring. Ask those guys, they'll tell you.
Boleh jangan lupa jangan apa